Over 1,000 years ago, wild men came from the north and raided populations all over Europe. But it is not only men who are heading out to a new world. In the sagas, which are stories about the Vikings, women too, with cunning and courage, fight for a better life. The latest research provides an even more precise picture of daily life in the Viking Age and of women who assert themselves in a man's world.
It is a great honor. Only the most important of men and very few women are buried in their boats. Almost never women. I, Sigrun, was one of them. Even though I was taken as a little girl and forced to marry a chief, I became the ruler over my own land in the end. This is my story.
The peoples of Northern Europe are separated by seas, fjords, and rivers. Over 1,000 years ago, the Vikings lived on widely separated farms, in isolated clans, and small kingdoms.
Look at that.
What's going on here?
See, Mother? I belong now. Look, Mother.
How could you?
What do you want from me? Tomorrow will be his first voyage. He's becoming a man.
Yeah.
A warrior.
Yes.
Heroic deeds await.
Heroic deeds. You attack innocent people and take them hostage.
We are not afraid of our enemies.
Yes, but your courage increases with the number of men you have.
What do you know? What are you trying to say?
Back then, there were only 3 of us against you.
Are you calling me a coward?
Oh, that's enough.
Well, now you've given me something that we women value greatly. A fresh and rosy complexion.
Finish it.
You're still borrowing.
Out of my way.
Women didn't really have legal rights. In any legal matters, they had to be represented by a male member of their family. But in terms of day-to-day life, as in most traditional societies, the roles of the 2 genders were quite distinct.
A lifetime of running. Like a frightened animal being pursued by demons. I lost my happiness forever. Back then, when evil came. It happened in the dead of night when the Horde raided my home, destroying everything I loved. My father, my mother, my home. I became the slave bride to my father's murderer when I was only 11. The hope for a just life for my children gave me courage, strength, and an iron will. The years went by and I remained imprisoned in unhappiness, resigned to my fate.
Are you coming?
Yes, I'm coming. But then, everything changed.
For more than 300 years, archaeologists have been looking for traces of an era which they call the Viking Age. From household to graveyard culture, each area is slightly different. But with regard to the communal life of men and women, a coherent image has emerged.
householder, a man, would own a farm, an estate, where many people worked for him. Large numbers of members of his family would live there, and he would have a wife who had a similar role within the household as he had organizing the household. His role would be mainly outside the household. Her role would mainly be within the household.
Hurry up now. The men are almost here.
I'll give you a hand.
Get rid of the chickens.
Chickens, yes.
Fill the horns
Yes,
with
we're
beer.
on it.
Come on.
On my
Let's
way.
go.
Yes. Here, take this.
Give it to me.
Oh, woman, fill it to the brim.
Odin shall receive his part. My protector, you have gotten many offerings from me. Accept this gift as well. And protect us on our voyage. Men, let us drink to Odin.
Odin is a god very much restricted to aristocrats and warriors. He's not suitable for everyday life. I don't think women were interested in Odin at all.
The Vikings believe in a great number of gods and spirits. Sagas and stories make the round. For some rituals, the local chief is in charge because he must motivate his warriors. One of the sagas tells the story of a son of Odin who was sent to the people by boat as a king. The chiefs refer to this saga. To demonstrate their power, some of them use ship graves such as the one found in Oseberg in Norway, a burial mound in which a complete Viking ship was discovered, along with innumerable grave goods, animal sacrifices, and everyday items. That's how a Viking prince buried his relatives.
The words spoken when erecting monumental ship graves were, "Here lies somebody who is a descendant of Odin, and who has the right to be king based on his bloodline."
The ship graves contain mostly men, the chiefs and kings. But Oseberg is an exception. Here we have the bodies of two women, one nearly 80 years old, and another 50 years old. Who could they have been?
There's been a lot of speculation about is one the servant of the other? Are they part of the same family? Is it a queen and a princess, or a queen and her slave? Is it a sorceress of some kind? Is it just a very important person? Or are there combinations of those explanations? I think it is very clear that both the women in the Oseberg grave are of high status.
Such powerful women were an exception. For the great majority of them, everyday life is marked by preparing food and making clothes. Winters are long, the women manage the food supplies. But in the summer, many of them assume full authority over the farm, while the men go Viking, which literally means make a sea voyage.
When we hear the word Viking, we first think of the people who devastated Europe. But these people were actually peasants, some of whom went Viking in the summer. So who looked after the farm then, in Sweden, Denmark, and Norway? The women, of course, had to take care of business.
That is how you string your bow. You mean like that? That looks good, my boy.
We should not part in anger.
I will demand a divorce.
Because of a single slap on the face?
I can tolerate your beatings. That doesn't matter to me. But I want Thorolf to become a decent person.
How are you going to live? You don't own anything.
I have made up my mind. I will leave the farm, and I'll take the children.
Thorulf!
Father?
Come here and say goodbye to your mother.
I'll be fine.
Do you want to see your son again? Then you will stay here and take care of the farm until we have returned. So, man!
There is evidence that people could divorce and that women could ask for divorce. We have some evidence from one of the Arabic writers who visited the town of Haidabu, who observed this. And the sagas also tell of women, if they were unhappy in their marriage, then they could ask for a divorce and they could get one.
Divorce is possible, but only if the woman can return to her own family or to other relatives. Because survival is possible only within a family group. Alone in the wild, no one has a chance. This is also shown by aerial archaeology, a new kind of research. Flying over Norway, researchers search for traces of old settlements. They look for clues telling them how the people in the Viking Age lived together and what they ate. So they photograph the Earth's surface with several cameras simultaneously, and then use computers to build three-dimensional models.
The great advantage of airborne laser scanning for archaeological purposes is that we can use filters to remove the trees and bushes. It is easier to detect deviations from the environment on landscape models without vegetation.
This way, the researchers find new information about the hunting methods of the Vikings.
A trapping system, such as the one I have demonstrated here, most often consists of several hollows in a row. Then, a herd of elks or reindeer walks over them. People simply dug 1.5 to 2 meter deep holes with a kind of fence between them. If a herd was approaching, the elks could only run over a hole. The holes were lightly covered, and the elk would fall into the hole.
Reindeer and other large animals are very valuable as a source of food and clothing for a family. This is illustrated on the wall carpet from the Swedish Överhogtad, one of only a few illustrations from the time. But there is much more to it than a picture of a herd of reindeer.
It takes a very long time to weave something like this. If you concentrate while weaving, you might produce a few centimeters a day. It just takes time. If you start with this carpet here, you can imagine the quiet beginning of a story. Then the actual plot starts.
It took the women at least 14 years to weave this carpet, using motifs from the folktales. It is the oldest depiction of these stories.
I think they illustrate a story which at the time was very popular. The story of Siegfried, the dragon slayer, whom we also know from other versions. This story was also told all over the north.
En välkänd historia som berättades i hela Norden.
The carpet is not a battle painting. With Siegfried and the dragon, the weavers placed emphasis on other issues.
Here you see the female perspective, love, revenge, infidelity, the restoration of wounded honor.
Why do you look so worried?
Ulf has me trapped. And he is right. Who am I anyway?
Look in your heart and listen to what the gods are planning for you.
I don't like what I am hearing there. There is only noise. Nothing but noise. I have to escape.
And your children?
I can't stand by and watch as their father brings misery on them. I can't.
You have to protect them, as you've always protected them. Nobody will be there to support you. Do you really want to add to their misery?
Conflicts in marriage and partnership arise in many of the ancient Viking folktales. It was not until the 11th century, the end of the Viking Age, that the stories which had been passed down orally were written down by unknown authors in Iceland. The sagas describe not only heroes and warriors, but also their wives.
In the sagas, we see several really proud, strong, active women. We see, I guess, various ways of dealing with this discrepancy in power between women and men. We see women who use the female role to the fullest extent and just have a lot of power without ever really breaking out of the female role. But sometimes they take the initiative on their own. And this sometimes proves to be really troublesome.
Women with magic powers, but especially women full of wisdom and knowledge, they are elevated poetic figures. But they also reflect the status of the women of this time and their opportunities for action.
If you look at the sagas, even though they do describe a male-dominated society, in a way we have bigger and better female roles in some of the sagas than in some of the plays and films written in the 20th and 21st century.
Come by the finest of leather. Ice Island, best quality.
Is this cloth from England?
Yeah. Do you like them? Look here. Let me show you something very special. Exquisite sheepskin. It's from an island in the Western Ocean. It's a real discovery. They call it Iceland.
An island of ice?
It is a land where you can find anything you need for a good life.
What else do you know about this Iceland?
They say it's a big island. Enough for everyone. Anyone could claim ownership of land there, wherever they like.
Really? Anyone?
Now, what about the skin? Do you want it?
No.
We know that people are eloping, running away and going against their family's wishes. And some of the saga descriptions of people leaving Scandinavia to go to the other lands in the North Atlantic, to the Faroes or Iceland or whatever, are people running away.
Silence.
As you can see, I did not call everyone to be here. You are the ones that I can trust. I will leave the farm with the children. I will set out to a new world. To Iceland.
Iceland? I don't know such an island.
Which of you will journey with us to a new world?
Does anyone even know where that is?
Where do we find this Iceland?
In the west. They say that it is a 7-day voyage. And that there are other islands along the way.
I'm sure it will be dangerous.
I used to travel the
Isn't that
seas.
dangerous?
I know how to navigate a ship.
I know. And I am counting on your abilities, Grim.
Here we can see there are different types of slaves with a different social status, in a social hierarchy. There were laborer slaves who lived in the stalls with the cattle. There was the one with the king's deputy. And there was a wide range of slaves in between.
It will be a dangerous journey.
Such a small group do this.
Yes, but we can hire other men that know the sea.
But can you really trust them?
We can put our trust in our gods.
But where will we live in this new world?
They say there's land for everyone there. And I promise each one of you your own plot of land on the island.
Really? That sounds amazing.
Don't make any promises you can't keep.
Count me in. What do we have to lose here?
Yeah, Grim, you're right.
You are going to need some help. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Iceland. Yeah? Iceland!
It's a good idea. Let's do it.
Yes.
The Viking Age is marked by conflicts of the clan leaders, chiefs, and minor kings quarreling with their neighbors. Because there are still no superior authorities.
In the 8th, 9th, and 10th centuries, power was not defined on the basis of territory, but on the basis of the peoples one had subjugated. If you were a particularly rough and belligerent king with a strong personality, you could gain more power. It was therefore a case of personal rule over followers, not so much over territory.
The raid on the monastery of Lindisfarne in 793 AD is considered by historians to mark the beginning of the Viking Age. Raiding voyages took place from northern to southern Europe, probably so that the booty could be used to pay the warriors and to better prepare for fights back at home. The Bayeux Tapestry depicts an attack on England, a very precise illustration of how the Vikings dressed and equipped their ships.
If they came to a place where they could obtain wealth in the form of silver or anything else without paying for it, well, then they did so. And then they were brutal. But whenever they realized that it wasn't going to be so easy, they'd turn into traders and simply pay for the goods.
They're coming! They're here!
The boat is back.
Here, take it. Hide the sail.
Yes,
Hurry,
hurry. Yeah, I know.
Stay strong, Sigrun.
Children?
Yes, Mother, I'm coming.
Finally! About time. Spoils for me.
Thorolf is a hero!
He killed 2 men with his bow!
So I did.
Our plunder will last us a long time.
Where's Thorolf?
Here, fought courageously.
Who is this?
This is Moda. She will share my bed from now on. Thorif, come here.
I killed 2 men with this bow.
Yeah. And how are you?
Leave me. I'm a warrior now.
Jarl and Bildor, my most courageous men. I promised them the hands of Gilda and Thora.
How could you? Never. My girls will marry men that they choose.
My men will know how to please them. And now a drink!
Yes!
Women!
Marriage seems to have been arranged by the families of the 2 people involved as in a pattern that we see from later centuries as well. These are political alliances or economic alliances. Someone wants to get control of a farm or ally themselves to an important family and get influence and so on.
We taught him a lesson!
This brew is
Silence!
I'd rather drown my axe in blood before I let my enemies rest! Gita! Why do you look so gloomy? Go, have a seat, drink! Thora, you two, come.
Let me through.
You.
That's enough!
Calm down, woman. My men are trying to have some fun.
The female heart is a turning wheel. Maybe this gift will move it. Come on, come here.
Girls, come! How could you?
What?
He's right. He's right.
Gita's old enough.
Exactly.
She's gonna need a man.
Let's trick the Kita and Yao.
And Yal? Isn't that bad?
I will have something to say to that. Grim, let's go. I think it is time for the men to be by themselves. That was the night I decided to escape. Ulf gave me no other choice. I was willing to fight for that.
Are you ready? We're running out of time.
Wait. Add this to the next barrels of beer. And make sure everyone drinks from it.
What if it doesn't work?
It will work. Trust me.
It's the knowledge of herbs and healing that was widespread among women. But there are also burial findings of women who had been given magical aids in their graves. Magic rods and amulets, as in this find from the Danish fortress of Fyrkat. In the Swedish village of Tuna, a spectacular grave was discovered in which the traditional gender roles had been switched. No queens, but high-status women, probably sorceresses, were buried here.
What's so special about this grave field is that the women are lying in the middle and the men are pushed to the edge. I can't think of any other grave field that looks like this and where the women play the leading role.
Were the women revered for their magic powers? They took 150 glass beads and 13 silver pendants to their graves.
There are descriptions of the way men who worked with magic were looked down upon. They were not well thought of because it was women's business to engage in magic, not men's. There is much evidence that people thought that women had magic powers and could influence what was happening.
I told you. It would work. Careful. Huh. All right. On three. 1, 2, 3.
He's heavy. Sigrun, come on!
Sigrun! It's too late. Please, let me go.
Frigg, the goddess of our household, may she guide you all to a new home safely.
Thank you.
And now go. Go!
Before sunrise, we had left our home forever. The gods were with us.
The winds are good. We'll reach the island in 2 days under these conditions.
I'm a little nervous about the trip.
I hope the fog doesn't get worse.
As long as Eric doesn't eat it all. What is that? I don't know what you mean. They're after us!
Hurry and tighten the sail! Let's go! We need everyone to paddle! Give it all you've got!
What do we do? What do we do?
Come on! Faster! Faster! 1 and 2 and 3. Move it!
Let's go!
Put your back into it! We can't let him catch up to us!
Paddle!
Faster!
Faster, men! Faster! Go faster! Come on, we almost have them!
What should we do?
Sigrun!
No one make a sound.
Give up! You're not getting away! I will find you! Don't make things worse! Sigrun! Thorulf, my son! I will find you! And set the sky on fire! That must be them! Go!
By the gods! It's all right. Green!
Thorulf! Thorulf! Sigrun! Turn around! I will find you! Even if it's the last thing I do! I will find you!
How could the ancient Vikings actually find their way? What did they do when the sky was so cloudy that they couldn't see the position of the sun?
At first, they sailed along the shores from where you could always see the land, and you always knew, past that high mountain over there, and then across the river, and so on. But at some point, they crossed the sea. We know that there were sunstones in the Viking Age. They work with polarized light. And when you use one, they have a tiny spot here, maybe of tar or something. You hold it up like this. Then you turn it until the small spot here looks like 2 spots on the other side. Depending on their position, the 2 spots have different shades of gray. If the shades of gray are exactly the same, the stone is held in the correct position. If you can see it this way, then you know that the sun is somewhere in this direction.
The first time we saw land was after 5 days. Most of our grain was destroyed by the fire. We were tired and hungry and headed towards total exhaustion. An unknown future was ahead of us.
Pull the sail down! Hurry! Get the paddles! Let's go! Move it! Bring in the oars! Sigrun, are things all right at your end?
It's fine.
Up down!
There's another one!
We never should have left! The sea spirits are punishing us!
Don't talk nonsense, it was just a rock!
Let's go, let's go!
In the 9th century, many raiders become traders and settlers. People from Northern Europe take their wives and families with them to France and Great Britain. It is not long before Scandinavian kings control the north of the British Isles. Even today, you can find traces of Scandinavian settlement, as here in York. Some of the Norsemen took up with the local women.
There's an English source which complains that English girls like the Viking men because they're much cleaner than the English men.
Oh, it looks like the gods are smiling upon us.
It does look that way.
Sigrun, look there.
What is it?
Careful. There are horsemen.
I hope they're not at us. I hope not.
Whoa! Easy, easy. Stenar and his men are approaching. Let's get out of here. There are too many.
We got lost in the fog and our ship struck a rock. They don't know our language. What should we do?
I understand you just fine. My grandparents come from the land of the Danes. Where's your husband?
I am Sigrun. And I don't have a husband anymore.
So what are you doing here?
We are traveling to the Ice Island in the west. We are hoping to settle there.
You have courage. I am Stenar, Knight of the Viking Prince of Yorick, and leader of my tribe here. You were almost taken by the Anglos. They don't take prisoners.
Then the gods must have sent you.
Yeah. Is that your ship?
It has a leak. We will need to repair it.
That'll take time. Fall storms are about to set in. You will be my guests for the winter. Follow me.
Come.
The Vikings are excellent shipbuilders. In the northwest, their wharfs are built all along the coast. In the Danish city of Roskilde, researchers are trying to unravel the secret of the Viking ships by building replicas.
We have built this the traditional way as we think the Vikings did 1,000 years ago. Today you would use a saw. They didn't use any saw in the Viking Age. It was only the axes, and you can actually see the result when you're building with axes only. It makes other shapes. If you saw things out, it's getting straight automatically. But when you use the axe, you are following the tree, how it was growing.
The perfection of these ships makes for military success. And the cargo vessels become the backbone in the worldwide trade network of the Vikings.
When you put two planks like that, it's strong because you put the planks together like this. If you put them together like that, you have to put twice as many planks or ribs into the boat. So the clinker-built boat, it's a light boat, and it's still strong. The boats from the Viking Age, they were light enough to pull ashore, and still strong enough to go on the North Sea to the big waves and big stress they have when you go out there. So I think that the way of building the lightness and the good quality of these boats, it was a part of the reason why they could actually go into the sea, out into the ocean, and go a long distance and be sure that they could go out and come back.
See for yourself. Your son may be a good warrior, but he excels at building ships. We've made great progress. So we won't be a burden to you for much longer.
You are no burden to us at all. And my son, his father was a good teacher.
It's true.
Thank you for your protection.
You're welcome.
Here, drink.
We would like to talk to you, Mother. Halfdan has something to say to you.
I would like to ask for your daughter's hand. I like her a lot.
You can't be serious.
Halfdan is a good choice for me, Mother. He comes from a respected family.
Mother! You know Father's will. Gita was promised to Niall.
Thorolf, what are you doing?
I represent Father. I cannot allow this to happen.
If anyone is the head of this family, then it's me. Grim?
Sigrun?
Don't touch me. You can't tell me what to do.
Go after him.
Yeah.
Very well. And I will speak to your father. We have to leave soon. I am deeply grateful. My journey must continue.
To the island of ice. My brother Ansgar traveled there some time ago.
Maybe I will see him.
Yeah.
From around 870 AD, Scandinavians began settling in Iceland, which until then had been uninhabited land. At that time, there were still forests on the island, which over the following centuries were cut down by the settlers for construction and firewood.
Supplies are starting. Certainly. I know.
Here. You have to eat. How long are you going to do this?
You have brought shame on our family.
Well, I guess I'll have to live with that. Would you rather your sisters be unhappy for the rest of their lives?
Women have to acquiesce. That's the custom.
Yeah. But only if their husbands treat them right and respect them. You should not become like your father. He has a mind like a wolf.
So what? What's so bad about that? I've seen him fight.
Look! Look! We can see land!
It must be Iceland!
We did it! We made it!
We actually did it!
The spot where our goddess washes ashore will be the place we make our home. And then, you will be rewarded for all your troubles.
Sigrun!
The sagas describe rituals the settlers use to take possession of the land. They throw a wooden figure into the bay, take stones as markers, or use animal tracks to set the border.
In the Icelandic Book of Settlements, there are 13 women who are said to have claimed land in Iceland. There are many other women mentioned who came along with their husbands or some other family member, but these are women who are said to have come to Iceland and claimed land, sometimes with young sons, for example. So it was possible, if not always very common. I think it was more difficult for a woman to do something like that.
Is it almost ready?
Yes,
That
it
looks
is.
wonderful.
Thank you. No rush, Sigrun. I'm almost done.
You need more wood.
Mama, there are horsemen.
Sigrun, be careful.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
Greetings to you. We come from the east, and we wish to settle here. Our gods have granted us this place. I am Sigrun, and who are you?
My name is Gauta, and I'm telling you, woman, this place is already taken. Whaler Bay belongs to Ansgar, our chief.
I have scouted this area, and it seems that no one has settled here.
Hey, watch out!
Help! No! Sarah!
No!
Get out of here! If your camp is gone by tomorrow, you will see the child again.
The next one will be on target! Let my sister go! Didn't you hear me? Let my sister go!
Right.
Sarah! Mama!
My chief will lay charges against you at the Autumn Council. I advise you to be there. Let's go, men.
They come from many different cultures, not only from Norway, but from Norse colonies in the British Isles and free men from Scotland and Ireland, men and women. And they come into this new virgin land, and they form a society that doesn't build on any prototype in the older cultures. So in a way, it is the first new society, as we then later get in North America and Australia and so on, where people come and do something different from their home countries.
The greatest invention of the Vikings is the Thing. It's the high point of the year. A gathering that was a court and a parliament at the same time. Women could bring forward their problems if they had a male advocate, their husband, brother, or son.
This woman is violating our customs and our law as she is trying to rob me of my land. I accuse her of disturbance of public peace. May the gods punish you.
All I ask for is a piece of land to call my own.
We also were not aware that you had claimed that land, Ansgar.
I meant to announce it during this council. Do I have to explain myself? Do women now have a voice in this council? Do we let them take our land?
Do I count for nothing? Because I am not a man?
What do you know about rights, woman?
I am also a free man, and I will protect the rights of my mother.
We all came here to live in peace. What about the risks I took? I ask for no more than any other newcomer on Iceland.
You have no position to ask for anything.
Quiet. We've heard enough.
Did well, Sigrun.
Our notions of democracy are built on the ideology of the thing where you have to come and discuss matter and reach a common solution that everyone can live with. and they're not based on a central power or authority that makes a decision for you. So I think that general idea behind the Alþingi is at the very heart of democracy today.
It's said that our land must be cultivated by the law. Without the law, it becomes desolate. Sigrun here has respected the customs of our ancestors and the laws of the gods. She is therefore rightful owner of Whale Bay. Look for another place if you need more space, Ansgar. There is plenty of space here on Iceland. Welcome to our community.
Thank you. Come here, son. My little boy has grown into a courageous man.
I have a fearless mother after all.
I thank you.